Hello, hello. Hello, and welcome to this final boss fight quiz night. My name is John, and I am joined by Angel,
Yo!
by Jeff,
Hello.
by Rogue,
Hello.
and if I've timed this right, Ben will be here any second. Any second now. Any second. I've not timed this right.
Quick, distractions.
So this is the final boss fight. This is one of the last final boss fight pub quizzes, as I don't have long for this world, apparently. A cough is now a mortal injury.
Speaking of mortal injuries, how do we not have a Christmas cactus?
What?
Nobody decorates the cactus. It's sharp and pointy.
I've got a decorated cactus. He's a home to a lovely plastic dragon.
Nobody decorates this cactus. It's sharp and pointy.
Hello.
Ah.
Hello.
And here is a Ben.
Have
Billy,
I
hold
interrupted
hot
any
neck, I
time?
got the one that's broken.
I do that a lot.
This is the final boss fight pub quiz or quiz night. We have got 4 rounds of fun this month, festive related, mostly questions, and you, several people, are going to provide me with some answers. So hopefully you've all got pens and paper ready to write down some answers. This month we have a round of Elf, a round of nerdy corrections, a round on headlines from the last year, and a family knowledge round. That's not knowledge of people's families. Don't worry, I've not been
Got to
stalking
say,
you
whose
on
family?
Ancestry.com.
Whose family knowledge is it? Is this the
I mean,
Go to Bed clan?
I've not been stalking you on Ancestry.com for this quiz.
on Facebook, apparently.
So,
I'm
before
glad
we
you
get
clarified
started...
that one.
Other
for this
reasons.
quiz? Yeah, for this quiz.
Other reasons. Jeff, what is your team name?
Snicket has a sleigh.
A slave.
Yes.
Slave has a slave. Ben, what is your team name?
The Quester Who Stole Christmas.
Oh, can you give it back, please?
No, I like it.
I get the
It's
feeling we're
jolly.
getting run out of space on the header here.
Probably.
Rogue.
That's half the plan.
A little bit of me just wants to give you the binary for my name, but that feels a little
Puppy
unfair.
Send
Let's
it
go
back.
with Krampus. Oh, I found out there were multiple forms of Krampus back in Germany, including everyone's sort of familiar with the traditional one, which sort of gave like coal to children and whatnot. That's where I got it from. But there was another one that was a female Krampus that would go around and punish bad husbands.
I love it.
I'm not going to go into any further on that because I'm pretty sure that would violate terms and conditions.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Female empowerment for beating your husband. Gotta love it.
Most wonderful time of the year. What?
No, I'm teasing.
Let's bring in Ben's face as well.
Ew, why?
I have one.
Oh no, you don't.
Oh yes.
Oh no!
No, it doesn't.
Don't tell me I don't. Not again. Did I put it down somewhere? What happened to me?
There we go. We can see Ben now.
Look at that handsome face. Ugh. Oh wait, no, that's a mirror.
Is that?
We have a Tanny watching. like live. It's a studio audience
Hey,
for a change. I didn't know
Do we-
Twitch streams had those, but
do we get
I
applause and a laugh
knocked
track?
on my door And they just walked in, and now I don't know how to get rid of them.
Yeah, that's usually the trouble.
so
Where did I put the answers?
Are we gonna get live applause and a studio laugh track?
yeah, we're gonna have like the little neon sign that flashes up for them to know when to laugh and applaud.
Clappy, clap, 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 clap.
So on to round one. Applause. Applause. Thank you.
You're already slacking.
Round one is facts about Elf, the movie Elf, not elves in general.
I should have watched this movie.
Apparently, that's a feeling that is going around several people in this chat right now. What is Buddy the Elf's full name?
Ooh.
What is Buddy the Elf's full name?
Yeah, definitely should have watched this film.
I watched it, but I didn't like it so badly. I blocked it from my memory.
I feel that this may have been a problem that Angel Mama set us last time, having chosen this round.
I'm not
It's
turning up this
very similar to what I did with the tryhards, so I can't complain too much. Everyone
Yes.
else can.
I feel that you set homework and then everybody else did it. And this time, Angel Mama set homework and everybody here is now saying, I should have done the homework.
So-
Reminds me of when I went to school.
Question 2. Why did Buddy live at the North Pole? Why did Buddy live at the North Pole? So, a show of vague hands, or vocal hands for lots of you. Who's actually seen the film all the way through?
I have.
Yes. A few times. I
Nope.
do love it. It's a Christmas tradition. I watch it every year. At the same time.
I
not
have a
yet.
I have a different one that I watch every year at the same time.
I have not watched
But
this one.
we've already done that round.
We did that last year.
I tried to watch it.
Haven't watched it this year yet.
I had embarrassment.
Question 3. Who raised Buddy at the North Pole?
See, I know the actor, but I don't remember the name of the
And question 4. What job did Buddy do at the North Pole? What job did Buddy do at the North Pole?
Is this at the time of the film? Because he could have been like an accountant beforehand, or is this at the time of the film?
I believe this is shown in the film,
Okay.
more than just like other jobs he may have done in the run-up to the film. I mean, I gotta be honest, I didn't actually watch the film either.
We're doing well this month.
It's going amazing.
Just
I don't need to. I've got the questions and answers.
for those of us who definitely will not get these right, other than by pure terrifying fluke, can we at least get like comedy points?
No,
Like
I
at
mean,
the end
you
of the
see,
round, just
I
vote,
have
vote our
asked for
answers out of
that.
10.
So many times in the past I have asked
You-
for that.
you can give
Just a-
yourself whatever points you like in your own heads, but get correct ones.
I have awarded myself infinite points for mustache.
And does have the best mustache.
Excuse
I feel
me?
This is unfair and sexist. I cannot grow a mustache.
You can try.
Why would I?
There you go.
Also, nobody
You
said you had
see,
to
that
grow
is
one.
the
You just have to
attitude.
own one.
Mustache.
That gets a very disturbing concept. Are we now suggesting that perhaps you should go out and steal someone else's mustache?
No, adopt a mustache.
It's
Hey,
it's
Ben,
yeah, it's just
you're
been November. Like, there's got to be a poor homeless mustache somewhere.
Yeah, they get lonely in the pound.
This
Question
this December,
5.
adopt a mustache.
Remember, a mustache is for life, not just for Christmas.
Oh,
Question
yes.
5. Which Christmas song does Buddy hear Jovi singing in the shop?
Ooh.
Which Christmas song does Buddy hear Jovi singing in the shop?
Sick. Kill Santa Claus.
This is the scene I'm thinking.
Paranoid, like Black Sabbath.
Question 6. At the shop, Buddy realizes Santa is in fact a man in a costume. But what does he say the man smells like?
Oh, I think I actually know this one.
At the shop, Buddy realizes that Santa is in fact a man in a costume, but what does the man smell like?
I can't remember and just trying to think of a Buddy-like insult.
Question 7. What's the best way to spread Christmas cheer? According to the film Elf, not just in general.
Oh. Hmm. What did Buddy say he smelled like?
Question
I've already written
8.
off this round, so some of these answers are getting wild.
Question 8. How does Santa's sleigh fly again after it loses an engine?
Oh, do we need to remember character names?
No.
Good.
There are no character names in the answer that I have written down. Question 9. Question 9. What's the first thing that Buddy does when he gets into the lift at the Empire State Building? What is the first thing that Buddy does when he gets into the lift at the Empire State Building?
Why do I remember so much of this movie?
You're the
Man,
only. You're the.
You're haunted by it?
Apparently.
I will point out that I got these from a website that had them as multiple choice answers, and of the 15 that I whittled down to 10, I managed to score 9 by guessing.
My favorite part is my number 8
And
is
or-
turned into a paragraph because it depends on the technicality of what you is the point of flying.
I will let you know that it is a sentence answer.
It's a
with
very long
1,
sentence.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words in it.
Yeah,
Three.
mine is a lot longer.
6 to
Same.
7, depending on how you
Just
count.
when it comes down to the answering, I'm just going to literally just pull myself a nice whiteboard over here and just go through everything with you.
I'd very much like you to install a whiteboard for that purpose.
To be honest, I think my neighbors might not like that because this wall where I'd have to insert it to just slide it out for its action, kind of go into their apartment.
Yeah, I mean, that's on them.
Get a green screen. Get a green screen and do it like on a separate window.
That would be a good idea, actually. And today, for
Finally-
Weather Forecast.
Finally, question 10. What does Buddy foolishly eat at the doctor's surgery?
Used needles.
Yes. You're not meant to say the answers yet, Ben. Is everybody ready for some answers, or would you like some more time to work out what Santa Claus smells like?
I've written something down, so I'm just gonna say that.
Okay. Angel, what is Buddy the Elf's full name?
That's one I didn't know.
Okay.
Oh, pick me.
Rogue, what is Buddy the Elf's full name?
I'm gonna apologize because this is nonsense, but I wanted to share it. Benedict Cumbersnatch, Daniel Delilah Yuletide.
Yes, that is absolutely no.
Oh,
But don't you wish it was?
Oh yeah.
Ben.
I have nothing, so I end up putting down Buddy the Elf.
Jeff.
Buddy Wells.
It is Buddy Hobbs.
Of course.
Rogue, why did Buddy live at the North Pole?
I presume he fell into Santa's sack, aka was kidnapped.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Technically,
Yeah,
I mean,
point.
he didn't fall in; he crawled in. But yeah, same difference.
Awesome. I'll take Santa kidnapped him.
So
It was because
when
he was because it was obviously an orphanage. He couldn't take him back. He didn't have a family.
yes, he was a child at an orphanage. He crawled into Santa's sack and ended
you
up
do.
at the North Pole.
So technically, the answer is he was adopted.
Yeah, he was adopted.
That's
At the North
surprising.
Pole.
Illegally.
Well, then, all
Sure,
Okay,
you can
kidnapped.
have a point.
Thank you.
Ben, who
Uh-huh.
raised Buddy the Elf?
Papa Elf.
Correct.
In fact, he's the actor who plays the doorman in Legally Blonde too.
And as
Jeff.
well as- Yep.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. No, we'll
No, I
continue
was
the
also
fun
going to
fact.
say is also Professor Proton from The Big Bang Theory.
Jeff, what job
Oh.
did Buddy do at the North Pole?
Toy tester.
Yes. There's not a massive labor department going on there. Not a lot of options. Angel, which Christmas song did Buddy hear Jovi singing?
Everyone's favorite date rape album. Baby, it's cold outside.
Correct.
He can't
I-
listen to that one anymore. You just cannot listen to that one anymore.
I do love the amount of politically correct versions of that one. Out now.
Well, the interesting thing is it's not even about what people say it's about, because at the time a woman couldn't be known to acknowledge their own sexuality. She had to give token excuses for why she couldn't stay, even though she wanted to, which is why it's very tongue-in-cheek, because she does want to stay with him, but technically she's not supposed to be seen as doing that.
At
How
the same
times
time,
have
he's trying to
changed.
play himself up as the gentleman and doesn't want to try and enforce,
Yeah.
which is the best part of the whole thing.
They're two fully consenting adults. People just forget that it was a very different time when that song came out.
Ben,
Uh-huh.
what does Santa smell like?
The fake Santa.
The fake Santa.
Yeah. I put sadness and cigarettes.
Jeff.
Beef and cheese.
Correct.
Oh.
Oh.
Feeling you better, Ben? I put sadness too.
I honestly thought this was the origin of the betrayal and lies meme.
Rogue, what's the best way to spread Christmas cheer?
I'm not sure you want this answer, but whipping people with pencil.
That'd
That'd have been a very different, very different film. That.
We need to make that film.
Angel, what's the best way to spread Christmas cheer?
Song?
You can have a point.
Cool.
N.
Same question there. How to spread?
Yep. What's the best way to spread Christmas cheer?
By singing loud for all to hear.
Thank you very much. You gave the right answer.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
close enough.
I mean, yes, it's close enough is song, but the answer is the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. It
I mean,
rhymes.
technically, song isn't necessarily the right answer because you could play a song and that doesn't do the trick. But by singing loud, because if you sing quietly, that doesn't do the trick either. Because you
We can hear you then, obviously.
loud.
Ben,
all to-
could you pull out the blackboard and tell us how Santa's sleigh flies again?
Okay.
I'm just going to have a nap.
Right. The reason why I end up placing down that there are multiple ties is because it is placed down by Santa's own definition that his sleigh was made to fly after the engine first of all bust off anyway. When Buddy's brother read the list, saw what he wanted, got the board out of the sack, and his belief raised the sleigh, and he said, "You just made my sleigh fly." Technically meaning that that was it flying the first instant afterward. Carrying on from that, then taking that book and running off and going through the list to the camera. There were a few people who made a few little bouts which made it bubble a bit, which technically under the same circumstances was also making it fly. Then had the camera switch off everything, we come to the big scenario where everyone starts singing and they get the whole of New York singing, because it doesn't specify that it goes anywhere further, but still. And because they're all singing, all believing, and they finally just need that last little push, because technically, once again, it is kind of trying to go. And it's Buddy's dad singing along with everyone else that finally makes it fly.
So
How was
I'll
that?
give you a point for that. The answer I have written down is A Christmas Sing-Song. Powers Up the Sleigh.
You get 1 point.
And everyone was made dumber from this answer.
Jeff.
Oh?
What is the first thing that Buddy does when he gets into the lift?
Did he press all the buttons?
Yes.
Oh,
Ah.
hold on. First thing he did when he got in the lift was he tried to get out of the lift. He literally walked in, saw there were no doors out of it, tried to turn around and the doors shut. That is the first thing he did in that lift.
Well, my
I
answer
will
was
stand on this burning hill. That is what he did in the first part. The second thing he did is after he noticed that the lights light up, he hit them all. But the first thing he did is he tried to get out and got stuck and not until someone else entered the lift.
Point, John.
you can have a point. It's Christmas.
Thank you.
Finally, Rogue, what does Buddy eat at the doctor's surgery?
Plastic candy cane?
Cotton.
It is cotton marbles.
Because I thought he, doesn't he mistake it for snow?
I would assume so. Again, I'm going off the answers a website gave me.
I think when it came down to it, he wasn't sure what they were. He said they looked like little balls of snow, but didn't believe that they were balls of snow.
Yeah, I was just going vaguely with the principle of something that's not edible that looks like candy.
That's the
That's
proper
his
answer anyway.
Snicket has a sleigh. How did you do that round?
So remember I said I'd never seen this film ever.
Yes.
I basically did not see it all week. I got 9.
Cool. What one didn't you get?
This one. Because that wasn't in any of the fun trivia quizzes I'd been boning up on the whole time.
The Quester Who Stole Christmas.
I also got 9. The only one I got wrong is what Santa smelled like.
Angel
5.
and Krampus.
1.
Cool.
For a
It's
second, I
still-
thought
the
it
moral of the
I
story is you can learn anything from trivia.
It's still
true, it is
all
very
to
true.
play for.
I mean,
Technically,
in
it's
fairness-
a method of learning anyway.
like in
It's
my
still
defense,
all to
I
play
didn't
for.
know
as we
this was
enter
going to be a
round
topic.
2. Applause. 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 Round 2 this month is a family quiz. It is a multiple choice. There are
boy.
3 possible answers, and each question relates to the previous question in some way. I will point out that the correct answer doesn't always relate to the next question. You'll see what I mean as we get to question 2.
You expect too much of my cognition.
I thought it was just going to be a fun, light-hearted quiz, and we've got to think.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing about quizzes. They don't tell you that you need to think.
London. So question 1. London, New York, Malaga, and Hong Kong all have districts called Soho. Which other British city has a neighbourhood called Soho? Birmingham, Edinburgh, or Cardiff? So, London, New York, Malaga, and Hong Kong all have districts called Soho. But which other British city has a neighbourhood called Soho? Is it Birmingham, Edinburgh, or Cardiff?
This is where I need the green screen just to get a sort of math illusion of the complete confusion.
You need that gift from The Hangover where all the equations start coming out.
You need to make that one with Ben.
I do the good faces for it.
I'm glad that it's someone other than me being compared to John Galifianakis for once.
Well, I do have the size. I'd say the comical prowess, but I really don't. I mean, I need to learn on that side of things.
Is that how you say his name?
Galifianakis.
last name.
I'm not 100% sure.
I believe it's Galifianakis. I've never
Very
actually spoken to him in
It-
person, so
It's one of those things where I could probably come up with as many just random versions of it'd be like Benedict Cumberbatch trying to say penguins. I could
Question
do all
2.
that. Right.
Question 2. Which area of London was tidied by the Wombles? Wembley Park, Wimbledon Common, or Wormwood Scrubs?
That would be
I'm
amazing.
kind of glad that these are multiple choice.
I
It's saving
want
my
to see
life.
that show. I want to see.
Wait, which show?
Right.
Wait, none of you have seen the Wombles?
It's been a very long time since I've watched The Womble.
I mean,
I was more of a
remember the
Clangers
song
kid.
so perfectly. And my favorite part is the amount of times that I mean, I won't go into different bits and pieces, but the amount of times that jokes about the one will just carry on coming up. Oh god! But
Just
yeah.
to repeat that one. Which area of London was tidied by the Wombles? Was it Wembley Park, Wimbledon Common, or Wormwood Scrubs?
I was always more of a Clanger. Mostly because it was easy enough to speak Clanger.
Yeah, that's true.
Once you learned how to whistle. And oh my, the Clangers were risque.
I
Question
must have missed
3.
that episode.
Question 3. Wormwood is a key ingredient in which of these alcoholic drinks? Gin and Pimm's number 1,
That's a bad thing to say, isn't it?
vermouth and absinthe, or cider and calvados? So that's 2 answers. 3 answers are 2 sets of.
Oh,
sets
so
of 2 things.
the answers themselves don't relate to the next question. It's just like something about the question appears in the
Yes,
next
something
question.
about the next question is related to the previous one.
I must
It's
have
not
loved
always an
calvados.
indication that it's the right answer.
Can you repeat those drinks, John?
So A is gin and Pimm's number 1. B is vermouth and absinthe. And C is cider and calvados.
What is Calvados?
It's sort of like an apple brandy. That's a pretty
Ooh.
easiest way I can describe it. It's basically imagine taking a cider and just carrying on adding and getting more alcohol into it until it turns into a form of brandy, as I say. But it was also said to be imbued with almost like magical properties of sorts. They actually gave it to children as medicine for a while. They were very happy. But
Hello,
it tastes lovely.
Rebels!
Hello.
Rebels says calvados
Oh.
is
It
delicious.
really is. That's another Calvados fan. Yes.
Well, you're more than welcome to give me Calvados for Christmas, Ree.
It helps with stomach indigestion.
It does. It does. This is the thing. It does actually have medical properties to it, which is the amazing thing about it, that you can get sloshed and healthier. Probably shouldn't be having too much of it, but nonetheless, a bit every night is fine. Just a bottle.
Question 4. Cider with Rosie was an acclaimed novel by which English writer?
Ooh.
Laurie Lee, P.H. Lawrence, or Lawrence Durrell?
Who are they?
They're English writers.
Sorry, can you repeat those, please?
Laurie Lee, P.H. Lawrence, or Lawrence Durrell?
Thank you.
Shamefully, I don't think I've heard of any of those authors before.
Lori Lee, I'm pretty sure I know.
Well,
The only name I know.
if they wrote Cider with Rosie, you're in with a chance of a point there.
Alright.
Rebel says, neither have I, Rogue.
Ah, good. So it's just this is not about. Is this an indication that Rebels and I are both uncultured?
No, I have
think
no idea
Lori
either.
Lee was like a,
And
like
I am
a,
full of culture.
like a romance novelist.
Question 5. Rosie was a fictional character created to encourage British women into the workforce during the Second World War. What was her job? Rail track layer, road mender, or riveter?
Can you say that
If you guys
again?
don't get this right, I'm gonna hate you.
I'm trying to remember. I'm sort
If
of
I
half
get this
got the
wrong, I
name.
will be ashamed.
So I've got the name. Could you say the question again for us, please?
Rosie was a fictional character created to encourage British women into the workforce during the Second World War. What was her job? Rail track layer, road mender, or riveter? Also, Hydro, the pun of this stream is bad, but I don't feel bad about that.
You should.
Oh, you know the worst part is I remember some of the posters. And I cannot
Oh,
remember.
you'll
what
have seen the
he was
posters.
doing.
They're very famous.
Oh no, I've seen that one, but there's also one with in active of actually doing it, of doing the job, and I can't remember exactly which one it is. But nonetheless, no,
Question.
never mind.
Question 6, and this is a good time that my brother has got here. What is the name of the railway on which Thomas the Tank Engine and his friends live and work? The Northwestern Railway of the Isle of Sodor, the Southwestern Railways of the Isle of Man, or the Central Railway on the Isle of Sicily? Silly. Silly. The Silly
Silly or
Isles.
Sicily?
Silly. They're very
Sicily?
similarly spelled.
Can
Not
you read out
Sicily,
the options
Italy.
again, just
They
so
were
for the
very-
sake of trying to remember get the right one?
Drew says, hell, I do actually know this one.
This is the thing. I know the island. I'm just trying to remember the rest of it. Is it okay if I just give you the island?
So A is the Northwestern Railway on the island of Sodor. B is the Southwestern Railway on the Isle of Man. And C is the Central Railway
Wow,
on the Isle of Scilly.
My favorite part is the main reason I know this one. Tom Scar did a video.
I mean, yeah, and I watched far too much Thomas the Tank Engine as a kid, and I legitimately gave the full the full Ringo Starr voiced original DVD set to my godson for his first birthday.
That is a good present.
Very good present. But now I can't. But now my brain is going. What would they call the railway for Arnor in Middle Earth?
Question 7. According to legend, the Isles of Scilly are remnants of a kingdom that was overwhelmed by the sea in a single night. What was that kingdom called? Camelot, Lioness, or Narnia?
I think this is a mythology I don't actually know.
According to legend, the Isles of Scilly are the remnants of a kingdom that was overwhelmed by the seas in a single night. What was the kingdom called? Camelot, Lioness, or Narnia?
I am literally focused on that, son. You know, the worst part is where you get the first part of the question, you think, oh, I know exactly what, and that answer doesn't pop up.
No.
Oh, were you expecting Atlantis?
No.
That sounds like a yes.
No. Why would I think that?
Question 8. Which of King Arthur's knights fell tragically in love with the king's wife Guinevere? Sir Galahad, Sir Bedivere, or Sir Lancelot? The studio audience is muttering things under their breath.
Mutter.
So, if you're in the comments, please type your answers now.
Do not type your answers into the chat,
I will
please.
See, ever
Nor
since you
say it out
mentioned,
loud if you happen to be here.
ever since you mentioned the Wombles, I've got the theme tune to Bodger and Badger stuck in my head.
That's a weird.
Those two get connected.
That is a weird connection.
British children's shows.
Okay, yeah, I'll grant you that one. I'll
Plus,
distract you with
Wombles
an
and
acorn.
Bodger. No, sorry, Badger both have very pointy noses.
Would you
Uh,
stop dying in
Gesundheit.
my house?
So
Uh,
for
you.
Rebels, which of King Arthur's knights fell tragically in love with the king's wife Guinevere? Was it Sir Galahad, Sir Bedivere, or Sir Lancelot? Also for Rebels, Drew's going to go pick up the food.
Yay!
That's just for Rebels, though.
I mean,
Ben.
surely,
That's
they,
not for
surely
us.
they live in the same house.
That's
guessing.
No
Yeah, but
excuse,
they're
you
communicating
mentioned
via too much
food.
chat. Question 9. The Honourable Galahad Galley Threepwood inhabits which fictional castle created by P.G. Woodhouse? Brideshead, Lendings, or Gormenghast? Drew says, I didn't want to shout up, and Rebel says, there are 3 floors and we're on different floors.
That's fine. Have your personal conversations in the comments. It helps towards the channel, surprisingly.
I
It does,
legitimately
actually.
do not care if I've got this answer wrong. I've got to go with Gormenghast because that's such a good name.
I know, I was thinking the exact same thing. I have no idea about the answer, but immediately it's like, yeah, go with that one.
And finally, question 10. Harry Potter and his fellow students at Hogwarts Castle access their school via the Hogwarts Express. From which London station does it depart? Charing Cross, Paddington, or King's Cross?
Even though it would have made more sense for it to be Liverpool Street.
Okay, are we ready for some answers?
Yes.
Yep.
I
However,
wouldn't say necessarily ready, but willing. Willing
Okay,
for some
I'll
answers.
accept willing. I'll accept willing. Jeff,
Hello.
which other British city has a neighbourhood called Soho?
I went for Birmingham.
Correct.
I thought it was going to be Cardiff.
I put down Cardiff and all.
I knew
Uh,
it wasn't Edinburgh. That one I knew, but it was very much a toss of the dice.
I didn't hear it at
Rogue.
all.
Rogue, which area of London was tidied by the Wombles?
Wimbledon Common.
Correct.
Yeah, the one was a weak builder.
They are common. Although,
Nice.
as you said, Ben, I would like to see the spin-off of the Wormwood Scrubs Wombles.
Yeah, I know. What
the
have you
hard
got there?
Wombles.
It's called a shiv.
See, I don't know much about like that area, but in my head, I just sort of have like this image of like Wombles dressed up in medical scrubs and witch hats, just like sword Wombles, just like no, not in my park.
I just want to see the Wombles doing that Wormwood Scrubs, just for the sake of turning the most vile and terrible things they find there into the most wholesome potential. I've made a new bed for the children. They just have to be very careful when they get on top of it. Stuff like that.
Look, a broken tibia is incredibly good support for a tiny bed.
Well, they do like to make use of the things we leave behind.
Jeff.
Which,
Hello.
I'm gonna say one quick one on that one.
It's Rogue's
That is
turn.
the worst message. That is the worst message to give to kids. Leave your rubbish. The Wombles need it.
Rogue. Rogue.
No, no, who's-
Wormwood is the key ingredient in which alcoholic drink?
Sorry, I think we've lost track of whose turn it is.
I was say, yeah, I just answered. It can't be me.
I answered the
Jeff.
first one. I answered the first one.
Ben. Someone give me an answer. Ben, give me an answer.
Vermouth and absinthe.
Correct.
Oh.
Woo!
My
Did
very
not know
apologies, I know that just for the sake that it is also has links to Chernobyl and a few other bits and pieces, thanks to drama class, and I
Okay.
never forgot that lesson.
Sorry, what? How is Wormwood and Absinthe connected to Chernobyl?
Do you know,
Tell us a story.
actually, when it comes down to if you end up sort of translating the name, is Wormwood. Wormwood is also a part of it's basically a poison. And there was basically, when it came down to, there's a belief which goes around it because Chernobyl was named after a poison. That is the reason why the land itself got poisoned. Or at least this is if I'm remembering it correctly. But yes, when it comes down to it, effectively, it's an alcohol made from a poison, which is also the name of Chernobyl, effectively. And so it sort of links along like the Kevin Bacon situation.
Jennifer. Sided with Rosie is written by which acclaimed English writer?
Lori Lee?
Correct.
Cool.
Hey, I had no idea about
Hey.
that one.
Did that one at school.
Jeff.
Hello.
What was Rosie's job on? I nearly said the full name, and that would have really given it away.
I'm gonna go with the popular opinion and say Riveter.
She was a riveter.
Yay! Riveting.
Yeah, I did nearly say what was Rosie the Riveter's job, and that would have given it away.
Just a little, just a little.
Rogue. What was the name of the railway on Thomas the Tank Engine?
The Northwestern Railway of the Isle of Sodor.
Correct.
I only wrote down A, and I had to just have a flashback to what you said.
Well done. Well,
Yeah.
flashback to. And
Yay!
according to legend, the Isles of Scilly are remnants of the kingdom of a kingdom that was overwhelmed by the seas in a single night. What was that kingdom called?
Lioness.
Correct. Jennifer, which of King Arthur's knights fell tragically in love with a wife?
Galahad?
Rogue.
Lancelot.
Lancelot is the correct answer.
God, I was thinking Galahad was wrong, but I couldn't remember.
Rogue.
Ugh.
Where did Galahad Threepwood live?
I mean, I've already told you what this answer is. It's Gormenghast. I don't know.
Jeff.
The one that isn't Gormenghast or the first one. Is it Blendings? Did you say the second one was?
Blendings is the correct answer, yes.
Of course there is Lendings. I heard Lendings. I was like, that's probably the right answer. But then Gormenghast was just too good.
Blendings.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I fell into the same pit there.
Gormenghast
and
is
then-
a different book series.
Ben,
Uh-huh.
where does the Hogwarts Express leave from?
King's Cross, 9 3/4.
Correct. Okay, and with that, if I could select the points, please, computer. Snicket has a sleigh has
9 points.
the Quester who stole Christmas.
I got 7.
So that brings you to 16. Angel
I got 6, which puts me at 11.
and Krampus.
7, which puts me on 8.
Cool.
I've closed it a bit, but I think
There are the points as we go into round 3. Snicket has a sleigh is in the lead. And then hot on his heels is the Quester who stole Christmas. And then a little bit behind is Angel. And then bringing up the rear is the Krampus.
I'm coming for you all. I mean,
Oh,
not
dear.
Snicket. Snicket will be fine. He's like Snicket could have a nap for a round. And I won't beat them.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We have a round now on Nerdy Corrections, the board game for the online show. I'm actually just arrived, and I have taken some answers. I've taken some answers here and questions from that board game on rounds of video games and animations, because I figured
Okay.
that was a topic set that us
Broadest
know
appeal.
much about.
Why would you say that, John?
Because we're a video games website, and everybody here has watched a lot of Disney cartoons.
Are you
Hey,
calling
what?
us nerds?
When did we
I'm
start
calling
doing
us
that?
nerds.
I thought we were a book club. I don't know why I
Yes.
joined, but I thought we were a book club.
You cut out there, so it sounded like you said you bought a joint.
So,
Could be very different.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a paragraph. Somewhere in that paragraph is something that is incorrect. The answer that you are going to give me is the correction. It's really simple. It'll make a lot more sense after I've read the first one. But I have a paragraph about various topics. 5 of them are related to video games. 5 of them are related to animated cartoon things.
Are we doing this in the rules of actually?
We're doing this in the rules of the FBF quiz night. In that you're
So,
going to write down an
your
answer, and then we'll do the answers at the end.
Oh, we can't obnoxiously shout "I'm actually" at you. I'm disappointed.
No.
You can say that's part of your
Well,
answer.
You
though.
can. You just
You
won't
can
get
say
any
it as part of
points
the answer, yes.
from
I won't penalise you for not saying I'm actually.
Oh.
Actually, it's called well, actually.
Okay, question 1. Enemies in Silent Hill 2 reflect the psychological trauma of the main characters. These monsters include a mechanical spider with a baby's head and a woman's severed legs attached to a fishing rod, and reflect Alessa's memories of hospitalization and James's anxiety about his wife's illness.
There are several parts of that are wrong.
Yes,
That's the
So,
point.
studio audience, you're not meant to be concerning yourself with this.
Could you read
Yes.
it again? Could you read it again, please?
I will read that again for you. Enemies in Silent Hill 2 reflect the psychological trauma of the main characters. These monsters include a mechanical spider with a baby's head and a woman's severed legs attached to a fishing rod, and reflect Alessa's memories of hospitalization and James's anxiety about his wife's illness. Now, several aspects of that are incorrect. Your task is to tell me what that actually is.
Oh.
What is actually wrong with the things I just said?
Is there potential
Well,
for
the
multiple
grammar
points?
was completely out of play.
No, they're actually, with that one, I will give you a bonus point, but I won't tell you for what yet. There is a bonus point on offer with that one, though.
What? With a who? Who got that one? Because I know that 2 of us were speaking at the same time.
There is a bonus point on offer with that one, but I won't tell you what it is yet, because it'll come up when the points are being handed out. Question 2. To regain his immortality, Hercules must prove his worth. He defeats many foes, but Zeus tells him that he is not yet a true hero. Then the Titans attack Mount Olympus, and Hercules defeats them, rescuing the gods and prompting Zeus to restore his immortality. But instead of joining the other gods on Olympus, Hercules chooses to stay on Earth. So to repeat that one for you.
Please.
To regain his immortality, Hercules must prove his worth. He defeats many foes, but Zeus tells him he is not yet a true hero. Then the Titans attack Mount Olympus, and Hercules defeats them, rescuing the gods and prompting Zeus to restore his immortality. But instead of joining the other gods on Olympus, Hercules chooses to stay on Earth.
You know, I'm
And
beginning to hate
gospel
this
truth.
round because this is just like a huge itch in the back of my head. Every time I hear, I need to say something.
Then look forward to January, Ben, when you're coming to mine, and we'll play this board game properly.
And I will be screaming out before I get a chance to finish the line.
I'm gonna have to listen to the soundtrack to this film now because the soundtrack's so good.
Question 3.
It didn't
really
need to go
is,
as
it
hard
really
as
is.
it did. It was
Oh,
great.
but
I
it-
love that.
But it did go
But
that
I have
hard.
just revealed my weakness to you all. Why have I done that?
Like, it
Your
is
weakness is that
amazing.
you're
I
into
love it.
pedantry? I think that's all of our weakness.
Yes, that is a nerd weakness.
Hey, fair enough, I'll give you that.
Question 3. In the Fallout game series, vaults were designed as shelters in which US citizens could take refuge in case of nuclear warfare. Unfortunately, poor management and funding cuts led to the failure of many vaults. For example,
Oh, sorry, you haven't finished yet. I thought you finished.
one vault was overstocked with weapons and ammunition, while another vault's door failed to close properly, allowing the radiation in. So to
Okay.
repeat that, in the Fallout game series, vaults were designed as shelters in which US citizens could take refuge in the case of nuclear warfare. Unfortunately, poor management and funding cuts led to the failure of many vaults. For example, one vault was overstocked with weapons and ammunition, while another vault's door failed to close properly, allowing the radiation inside.
I'm playing a case of Ben. My
Also, as
entire body is tense on that one.
The amount...
I've watched, read, and played too much Fallout and participated in too much lore to not want to vibrate out of my chair.
I am starting to understand the function of why they do the show the way they do it. Is who's going to be the first one to blow up before the sentence is said?
Question 4. Question 4. In the Disney film Up, while traveling in South America with Carl, Russell meets a large flightless bird and names it Kevin. However, Kevin is captured by explorer Charles Muntz, who has been searching for this species his whole life. Because Kevin is father to a family of chicks, Russell insists on rescuing him. I can English. Carl resists first, then relents and joins Russell in a daring mid-air rescue mission on Muntz's airship. Now to try and read that one all the way through once. In the Disney film Up, while traveling in South America with Carl, Russell meets a large flightless bird and names it Kevin. However, Kevin is captured by explorer Charles Muntz, who has been searching for this species his whole life. Because Kevin is father to a family of chicks, Russell insists on rescuing him. Carl resists at first, but then relents and joins Russell in a daring mid-air rescue mission on Muntz's airship.
I sometimes forget that Up had a plot line that wasn't the first 3 minutes.
I know, God, it
Well, my favorite part is
feels
that plotline in the very beginning also gets its perfect wrap up at the end. Where it's just like, once again, there's two parts of the movie where you could have literally just done by themselves and literally scrap everything else. But then again, I suppose you need that middle part for that.
I mean,
whole
it's the
acceptance.
payoff, really, isn't it?
But yeah, when it comes down to it, you could have done that first sequence.
I
By
personally
itself.
I personally very much enjoy the fact that I got that the music from that opening sequence played at my brother's wedding.
Oh,
Aw.
that kind of sucks.
I
'cause you
don't
think
remember
that
that.
before he does.
It was yeah, well, real perfect.
Damn.
It was during the bits where we were going in at the wedding reception. And right at the end, before they went to like the giving of presents and speeches and things, Snoozy Blue played that for me.
Oh, that's sweet.
Because they were looking for like classical musicy bits to be like all the nice classical music segment.
That is a nice bit of classical music, I've got to say.
It is.
I vaguely
Uh,
recall this, but I think I was distracted by my maid of honor duties, making sure that the best man didn't make a tit of themselves.
I believe that was very distracting at the time, yes. Question 5. Dark Souls can be unforgiving. I don't need.
Is that
fits
it?
entirely.
It's a
That was
little
it.
bit.
That was
Okay.
No lie here.
Oh, yeah. When it comes, no, actually, yeah, it's being very unforgiving is too light a statement.
Dark Souls can be unforgiving, but at least players have the bonfires to make things easier. You can rest at these with no consequences, and they update your respawn location, as well as replenishing your health and Estus. On top of that, once you have the Lord Vessel, you can warp between certain bonfires.
I do not know enough about Dark.
Oh good, I've got one that nobody's benning at.
I don't really play Dark Souls.
See, if this was about Bloodborne,
Thank you.
I'd be good, but
Okay then,
Thank you
here's
very
one
much.
that I'm certain somebody is going to have. Lots of people
Are
are
you
going to see this
replacing
one.
the question, or are we still keeping?
Oh
it
no,
in?
you've got that one. That's question
Can
5.
we,
I'm
can
gonna.
we go through that paragraph again, just so we can?
Would you
try
like
and
that
figure it out?
paragraph a second time?
Yes.
Okay.
please.
Dark Souls can be unforgiving, but at least players have the bonfires to make things easier. You can rest at these with no consequences, and they update your respawn location as well as replenishing your health and Estus. On top of that, once you have the Lord Vessel, you can warp between certain bonfires.
one thing I think might be wrong, so I'm just gonna write that down.
That is the plan.
Zeus hurled his thunderbolt. Da, da, da.
I have never played Dark Souls. I have no intention of playing Dark Souls. For the above given reasons.
Question 6. In The Iron Giant, Hogarth befriends a giant metal-eating robot from space that has seemingly forgotten its purpose after taking a bump on the head. Although the robot is heavily armed, Hogarth shows it Superman comics and encourages it to be a hero rather than a weapon. Ultimately, it destroys itself by flying into a nuclear missile that the military launched at it rather than allowing the missile to hit the city. In The Iron Giant, Hogarth befriends a giant metal-eating robot from space that has seemingly forgotten its purpose after taking a bump on the head. Although the robot is heavily armed, Hogarth shows it Superman comics and encourages it to be a hero rather than a weapon. Ultimately, it destroys itself by flying into a nuclear missile that the military launched at it rather than allowing the missile to hit the city.
I'm doing badly at this round.
It's not my best round either.
How creepy that fucking FBI agent was. It's like he was like.
Ben, this is
2
your
steps
chance to
from
overtake.
flat out being a pedo. It was
Do it,
creepy.
Ben. Waiting.
This is one of those things where I think I might have oversold myself at the start of this round. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I am jotting and writing like nobody, so who knows? Who knows?
I have never
Okay.
heard pain and nervousness so well emoted in my life. That was beautiful.
Okay, question 7. Handsome Jack is the CEO of Hyperion and a colossal jerk. After buying a living stallion made of diamonds, he announces that he's going to name it Piss for Brains in honor of the players, but settles on the name Butt Stallion. He also hires bandits to kill his own grandmother and sends the players to kill the bandits so that he doesn't need to pay them. Handsome Jack is the CEO of Hyperion and a colossal jerk. After buying a living stallion made of diamonds, He says he's going to name it Piss for Brains, in honor of the players, but settles on the name Butt Stallion. He also hires bandits to kill his own grandma, then sends the players to kill the bandits so that he doesn't need to pay them.
Which makes him seem more like a dick than a jerk.
I never played enough of that game to know the answer.
I never played that game.
My favorite part is I haven't played enough to know the answer. I know Butt Stallion.
I quite.
I know the
like
game.
Butt-
I know the game.
Butt Stallion turns up in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. It's great.
But yeah, I know that. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly
Yeah.
as glorious as you expect.
Question 8. In Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Oh
each
boy.
of the bending styles from the 4 nations was learned from a natural source. Water bending was learnt from the giant koi, fire bending from the dragons, earth bending from the badger moles, and air bending from the flying bison. There is a 5th bending style, energy bending, which is taught to Aang by the last remaining lion turtle.
I feel like that's the M. Night Shyamalan plot, and that's why it's shit.
No, if it was the M. Night Shyamalan plot, that would have been... There is a 5th bending style, energy bending, which is taught to Ong
Yeah.
by the last remaining lion turtle. Because nobody taught M. Night Shyamalan how to say the character names.
I'm just having this image of Aang going Kamehameha.
Just say M. Night Shyamalan again.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Shamanamanamanamana.
Ding dong.
Do-do-do-do-do.
So to repeat that for you, in case you missed what the incorrect statement was there. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, each of the bending styles from the 4 nations was learnt from a natural source. Water bending was learnt from the giant koi, air bending from the dragons, earth bending from the badger moles, and air bending from the flying bison. There is a 5th bending style, energy bending, which is taught to Aang by the last remaining lion turtle.
So far out of these questions, there's only one answer which I'm 100% sure on.
Excellent.
See, I have 2 answers for this one, and they're both technically correct. It just depends on how much you want to be a pedant.
To be fair, when it comes down to it, my problem is that my mind is still running back to question number 1, but there is a bonus answer to that, and I kind of want to hear that again to see if I can find it.
I'll repeat
Um,
question 1 before we do the answers.
I think I have the bonus point before the actual point.
Question 9, and one that I am sure Jeff is going to get the right answer to.
I thought that was question 9, wasn't it?
No, that was question
That was
8.
question 8.
Oh, okay.
Question 9. Ever since the formation of the Assassin Brotherhood,
Oh, heads up.
originally known as the Hidden Ones, members have been required to tattoo their ring finger to prove their loyalty to the cause. Their signature weapon is the wrist-mounted Hidden Blade, which allows them to approach and dispatch targets stealthily. Ever since the formation of the Assassin Brotherhood, originally known as the Hidden Ones, members have been required to tattoo their ring fingers to prove their loyalty to the cause. Their signature weapon is the wrist-mounted Hidden Blade, which allows them to approach and dispatch targets stealthily.
Think I might have that one. I'm pretty sure I saw a video about that a long time ago about its lore.
And finally, question 10, which is mostly, I feel I picked this one for me, because I don't think anyone here has actually watched this. Me and maybe, well, Tanny.
But you're not answering the questions, John.
Oh, I did that wrong then, didn't I? Question
what's your
10.
question?
In She-Ra and the Princesses of Power,
Oh,
the
so
Sword of
good.
Protection. Oh, good. Rogue has seen it. The Sword of Protection is an alien device created by the first ones that grants power such as healing and animal transformation. Fedora happens on the sword after she and Catra crash into a forest, and as the first person to touch the sword since it was lost, Fedora gets to be the new heir of the powers of She-Ra.
Can you please
To
repeat
repeat
that?
that, without me losing the words in the middle,
Yeah, that'd
in
be handy.
She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, the Sword of Protection is an alien device created by the first ones that grants powers such as healing and animal transformation. Fedora happens on the sword after she and Catra crash into a forest, and as the first person to touch the sword since it was lost, Fedora gets to be the new heir to the powers of She-Ra. It got a little more epic that time round, I feel. There is something incorrect with that statement.
There's a lot incorrect with that statement.
Can we go back to the previous one? We had this huge discussion about how to correctly do a steak.
So, for those purposes of Ben and Ben's brain,
You.
question 1 again for you, before we do the answers. And there is a bonus point on offer for this one. Enemies in Silent Hill 2 reflect the psychological trauma of the main characters. These monsters include a mechanical spider with their baby's head and a woman's severed legs attached to a fishing rod. These reflect Alessa's memories of hospitalization and James's anxiety about his wife's illness. Just going to sit back for a minute, cough for a bit, and let Ben write down some answers.
Okay. I think I got it.
Are we ready? Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben,
Okay.
that first one, what is incorrect with that statement?
First point, when it comes down to it, the fishing rod with legs and the baby's head on a spider are actually from Toy Story, creatures which were created by Sid and Sid's Run.
Correct.
Second part of that side of things, when it comes down to the actual monsters which are tormenting the other two characters, are the hellish nurses and the pyramid head.
Correct. So the correct answer is neither of those monsters are from Silent Hill 2. They are, in fact, the two disfigured toys from Sid's room in Toy Story.
They were very Silent Hill.
Wait, so which one of those is the bonus point?
So the point is that they're not from Silent Hill. The bonus point was that they were from Toy Story.
Oh.
So I think there's another correction in that.
Okay.
Because my understanding is that a large part of the monsters aren't just about James's concern with his wife's sickness, but also his
His sexual
part of it is about addressing his own internalized misogyny.
I didn't state that it wasn't that, so no points for that.
But the
Manga
whole
try.
Alessa thing is wrong. Alessa has absolutely no part in the second Silent Hill game. The hellish nurses in the whole hospital setting is from James's repressed sexual desires and his need for release. It's not stated directly, but in one of the interviews, it is explained that he had lust for Mary's nurses, and he hated himself for it because Mary was still sick, but he still had the urges of a man, which is why the bobblehead things have the consistency. If you look at them really closely, the ones that spit the acid, not only are they spitting acid for Mary's illness and the hateful words she was spitting at James, but they have the look and consistency of condoms, which indicates that he might have actually eventually cheated on her while she was in the hospital.
Oh.
Alessa wasn't featured in the game at all because it has nothing to do with the cult. It just happens that it's in Silent Hill.
They don't mention that in my answer, so no points for that.
Oh, come on!
That,
Well, you
I feel
just-
that deserves
wait,
a bonus point. That was
What was the
amazing.
regular point for then?
The regular point was they weren't monsters from Silent Hill.
Oh, okay. So So you get the point for saying that it's the monsters that are wrong, but you also get the point B if you say that they're from Toy Story.
Yes.
Okay, well I got both points anyway.
Yeah, the points were, 1, they aren't monsters from Silent Hill 2. Its bonus point was for saying that they were the monsters from Sid's room.
I have a specific hyper focus on Silent Hill 2, so
Horror games are great and weird. I love them.
Jeff.
Hello.
Statement 2. To regain his immortality, Hercules must prove his worth. He defeats many foes, but Zeus tells him he is not yet a true hero. Then the Titans attack Mount Olympus, and Hercules defeats them, rescuing the gods and prompting Zeus to restore his immortality. Instead of joining the gods on Olympus, Hercules chooses to stay on Earth.
actually,
Again, another film I haven't seen, but I believe it's he regained his immortality by rescuing Hera from Hades.
It is actually... No. Not
Oh,
Hera.
okay. Oh, Megara, not Hera. What am I about?
Hercules doesn't earn his immortality by saving Olympus. He earns it by jumping into the river Styx to rescue Meg.
Megara, yeah.
Which-
not
one
Hera.
of the biggest plot holes in fucking Hercules.
Which
Sorry.
would have killed him had he not regained his immortality partway through.
Sacrificing himself. I agree, it is a plot hole really when it comes down to it. It was done out of selfish means and bloody yada yada. There are a lot of different things you can take a look into that, which takes you long. But hey, it was a good movie.
I was talking about the fact that when he kneels down, the river is right there, and then when he gets
Oh
he goes
god,
into the river,
yes.
it's like a mile down a cliff.
And then he walks out
And then he
onto
walks
that
out,
sort
and
of
it's like,
cliff.
what is the height of this river?
What's the height of the cliff next to the
Convulsing up
river?
and down. It's
The river's
convulsing
more
like
of a
no-
metaphor. It's a metaphorical, magical river. Let's give it a break.
Rogue. Rogue.
On the Disney movie.
What's the incorrect thing about statement 3?
Pretty much all of it. One, most of the vaults were designed to be test experiments, but Vault-Tec instead sold the project to the US government to be survival shelters as a front. There were a few control vaults, notably Vault.
Sorry, Kirk says the real rivers are the friends we made along the way.
Good one. Good one.
I think according to the question, being the shelters for people to stand in is correct, according to the question.
I'm gonna interrupt you there, Rogue, and I've already interrupted you there once, Rogue.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna interrupt you again there and say that actually, according to the question and answer that I have, they weren't failures due to lack of funding or mismanagement.
Yeah, that's why
They
I
were
said
failures.
most of it was wrong, because it wasn't
They were
anything to do with that.
failures due to due to
It was a
being
social experiment.
experiments.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything else.
And I'd say they weren't failures at all. Most, if
Honestly.
not all of them, did exactly what they were meant to do.
Well, that's it.
They just weren't shelters.
Exactly. They weren't designed to actually save anyone. They were designed to test them.
They're
Can you
just-
mental.
can you-
They're
can-
mental.
It was
John, can you read it?
disguised
Can
to
you read
look
it
like
again,
it
please?
instead.
Can you read it again, please?
In the Fallout series, vaults were designed as shelters in which US citizens could take refuge in case of nuclear warfare.
That's true.
They were certainly shelters that
Mm.
you could take refuge in.
They were shelters. You could take refuge in them.
in
That
the
wasn't
event
their
of
primary
nuclear war.
purpose.
No, but they were still.
But that's not what they were designed for, actually. Yeah, that would be.
That
that's
wasn't-
not
They-
what
but
they
they
were
still
designed for. They were
were.
designed to be test sites.
That's the
Yeah.
second part of the statement.
But the first part says they were designed for them to be shelters.
And they were shelters. The real shelters are the friends we made along the way. So the point is, they
They were
weren't
designed to be test
failures.
sites.
They
Look,
were
I'm just going to
designed as
take my
shelters.
point.
Take the points.
Take the
I'm
point.
taking my point. I'm not
This-
saying no for an
you have
answer here.
got the
I'm
wrong
right.
game with this group.
I could give a lecture on vaults, god damn it.
Jennifer,
Yes.
I can very much tell you that you won't be getting any other points than the correct one on this one, because there is a lot of this statement that I know factually is very true because I've seen the damn film before. What's wrong with question 4?
Girl.
Correct. Kevin isn't a father.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kevin's a woman.
yeah.
Kevin's a girl.
They find out one other while it's one of the best gags in the whole thing. Oh, Kevin's a girl.
legitimately, I forgot Kevin was even a thing. All I remember is Doug.
Oh, watch that stream, Rogue.
I will quite happily give lectures on vaults and their fuckery. Oh boy.
Oh god, are we gonna have? We're gonna have to do that one as a segment now, John. We're gonna have to do the nerd off.
You had to include the now canonical Penny Arcade vaults as well, because they were made canonical.
Yes,
Was incorrect about statement 5 on Dark Souls.
I had no idea, so I figured that when it came down to it, I figured it must be a safe place. I figured that you probably would be able to fast travel it with 1 point. So I'm going to say that it does not replenish your espers.
Jeff.
I had the same thing. Doesn't refill your Estus Plus.
Rogue.
I was gonna say, okay, I'll admit I'm very much stretching the truth here because I think you said that the bonfires was something that made the game easier, and I'd argue, no, that was the fact that you could fight with magic. That was one of the ways you could make the game easier. Other than that, I know nothing about Dark Souls.
Jennifer.
I'm pretty sure you could warp between your bonfires before you got the. You didn't need the tool.
None of you got the right answer,
Oh, okay.
which is that the
can
incorrect.
I place a guess? Can I place
Go
a
ahead.
guess? Because there was one which I wasn't sure about, but thought, no, I had to be wrong. Is that they are safe places? Is it that they are not actually safe places and you can be attacked there?
No, they are safe places. You can't be attacked at a
Oh,
bonfire.
thank God for that. I'll remember that for
But-
playing.
The incorrect statement is they do have a consequence.
Oh,
I stated that you can rest at bonfires with no consequences. They actually respawn most of the enemies around you.
oh.
They restore your health, they restore your Estus, but they restore also all of the enemies you've just fought.
Honestly, I was making my guess based on the fact that in Bloodborne, the bonfire equivalent, you don't need an item. You can transfer, teleport between. Obviously, they're not bonfires. They're like a ghostly looking lantern on a hook. I'm cool with that.
Jeff,
Hello.
statement 6 about the Iron Giant. What was wrong there?
It wasn't a nuclear missile.
No, it was most definitely a nuclear missile.
Mhm.
Okay.
Rogue.
It wasn't Superman comics; it was cartoons.
No, it was comics. I mean, he may have also shown cartoons. I'm not 100% sure on that scene. Jennifer.
I think it was a little one. I don't think it was a city. It was like a little coastal town, wasn't it?
No, I mean, it may not have been a full city,
That's
but it,
a debatable one, yeah.
yeah, that is debatable. No, that's not it.
Oh, okay.
Ken.
Okay, the military wasn't actually going to release it. The military said they weren't going to release it after they realized that actually this wasn't a threat. It was, in fact, a rogue agent who acted against the military orders who forced them to release it.
Yeah, the creepy pedophile dude.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Huh.
Incorrect statement in there is the missile destroyed the robot.
It does?
It doesn't. It's blown to pieces, but at the end of the film,
Oh,
you see it
yes.
reassembling itself.
Well, yeah, but it's still in pieces, which speaks of destroyed.
It's not destroyed. It's
Are we
going
going
to
to
get
get into what the definition of destroyed is?
It's still a thing. It's
You know,
still
I
exists.
will accept that because the other side of it, that did open up the most horrifying thing possible at the end. Because there is another horrific story that can potentially come from that. Which is, if it heals and corrects and rebuilds itself. I mean, the last time it lost its memory thanks to a knock to the head.
Yeah. What
This
does
Has
nuclear
now
missile
had a
to the
nuclear
face
missile and is going to reassemble itself. What was its original purpose when it came here? Because
Yeah.
it's most likely going to do that.
Or hopefully it meets Hogarth again real quick and he teaches it to be Superman very quickly.
It's voiced by Vin Diesel?
Yeah. I've forgotten who I'm up to, but Rogue, you can be picked on for this one. What was incorrect about statement 7?
The bandits weren't for killing Handsome Jack's grandmother?
No. No, he is that much of an arsehole.
Oh, I didn't doubt that, like, he had his grandmother killed. I just don't think I was disputing whether or not it was those specific bandits, but never mind.
Jeff.
He doesn't get you to kill the bandits?
No, he does. He really
Okay.
doesn't want to pay them. Ben.
He didn't call it Bud Stallion.
No, he does.
What else is there? We can do this by elimination.
Jennifer.
It wasn't diamond crusted.
You so far have got the closest to the correct answer, but it was a diamond encrusted thing.
It wasn't a horse.
It wasn't alive.
It's not a stallion.
Ah.
Butt stallion is actually a female horse. And so actually she should be called Buttmare.
It's worse than a nightmare. It's a
yeah, you can have a point for
bugmare.
that.
Cool.
That is so esoteric. I love it.
Jeff, what was incorrect
Hello.
about statement 8?
What was statement 8?
Statement 8 was the Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, no idea.
Ben.
Ooh.
Okay. So, for the sake of it, obviously the bending of the Earth was by the Mole Badgers, by the a lot of the other ones by the dragons for the sake of fire and such forth, but it wasn't giant koi that the
Yep.
waterbenders got.
What was the original waterbender?
They were the moon and the ocean spirit who were regular sized koi.
The original waterbender is the moon.
So I have a caveat
The
to
moon.
that.
I mean, the reason I said the koi is because they are the moon. I mean, I've literally got it written down here, but they're the moon and the ocean spirit
Oh yeah, the koi are the moon and the ocean spirit.
because they were push and pull,
I-
and
I
technically
believe-
they're both required.
Have
If
we gone to
I
the
believe the specific-
whiteboard now?
I believe the specific explanation from UA is that they watched the moon bend the ocean. So the
Yes.
moon was the bender, the ocean was bent.
What
And
the
thus
moon-
the love
forces.
story of the moon and the ocean was born.
The moon is the original waterbender.
Oh,
They
'cause-
watched the moon
They watch the tides.
Yeah.
watch the tides to see how to
Yeah.
move the water.
So, I have a complication caveat to this. So I definitely
Yeah.
have that first part. But if we then follow on to Legend of Korra, we actually learned that most bending was originally gifted to humans by the lion turtles. So there's sort of a bit of an inconsistency here. Because
There
again,
is.
the cultural story is that, but we've actually seen in visions that they learnt it from lion turtles.
Yeah, but also those are two separate series, which were written by two separate people. So
I thought the original writers were still on Legend
Oh no,
of
they
Korra.
are.
I mean, I'm sure they
Doesn't
were
necessarily
probably
mean that they
involved,
keep the
but-
same story going through properly.
Hey, I'm just
Okay.
fishing for a bonus point.
Okay.
No bonus point.
I mean, I was hoping just for the sake that the koi with the moon and the ocean spirits, but
I just like how
we
you're
can
like
go fishing.
regular koi.
It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to catch anything. No, they were the moon and the ocean spirits who decided to take themselves into the mortal realm because they wished to be together in a manner they could be.
Jeff.
They wanted
Hello.
Poon. That's the point.
Jeff.
Hello.
Statement 9 about the Assassin's Brotherhood.
They didn't tattoo their ring finger. They had to cut it off at least until the end of Altair's reign when he redesigned the blade, so you didn't have to cut it off. Tattooing then came into
Correct.
play, I think.
I kind of want to correct Jeff there. I don't believe it was Altair who corrected
The reason I said Altair
gauntlet.
because when you come to Assassin's Creed 2, you hand the codex to Leonardo, and Leonardo says, "Oh, the blade has been redesigned, so you don't have to do that." And I believe
Yeah,
it's
but my
Altair who
understanding is that was-
redesigned it.
Oh, my understanding was that Leonardo da Vinci made the redesign change himself.
I don't believe so. He didn't know what the blade was. He had to copy the notes, but as far as I can tell, the design was changed in the codex. So I think it's Altair who redesigned it. He also added the gun. He also added the gun to it as well.
The gun definitely wasn't Altair's work. That's definitely Leo's.
Correction. No, sorry. I'm actually there because in Assassin's Creed Revelations, when you have the flashbacks to Altair, Altair uses the gun to kill. I'm forgetting his name. The guy who took over the Assassin's Guild. He actually killed him with a gun.
See, this is what
You can't
get when
correct your own
nerds
mistakes and try and get points.
You brought
No.
this on yourself.
It's not mistakes. I believe Altair redesigned the blade, so he didn't need to cut off the finger, and
Oh
he
no, I'm
definitely
talking about
added
the
a gun
gun
to it.
bit.
No, Altair created the gun. He added a gun
No,
to the
but
blade.
originally you said it was Leo, which is why I was just saying.
I didn't say Leo. I didn't say it was Leo.
No, that
Wait,
was
who
John.
said it? Who said Leo made the gun?
Okay, anyway, let's stop talking over each other. You are correct, Jeff. You get the points. The tattoo tradition started long after the formation of the Brotherhood. Originally, you had to remove your finger so the blade could come through there. They eventually worked out they could just put a bit more space in.
And they decided, hey, you can add another blade to the other hand. Who'd have thunk it?
I guess if you don't have to remove a finger for your hand, you're a lot more willing to strap another one to the other side.
Yep.
And I'm still at the point of trying to thinking. I want to look up the definition of destroyed.
Following that up, Jennifer,
Yes,
statement 10.
I did not.
Jeff,
It doesn't do animal transformation.
it does do animal transformation.
Oh.
Ben,
The fact of her being able to use the sword is not by chance of her being the one to pick it up. It is that they had to be the right person or the right soul to pick it up, and she qualified.
correct. It isn't just that she was the first one to pick it up. The sword only activates for first ones who are chosen, and she was a first one. It does do animal transformation. It turns a regular horse into a talking winged unicorn thing.
Oh, of course, yes.
Talking winged unicorn thing.
An alicorn.
Swiftwind.
Yeah, no, I know, but
And now, let's get some points, please. Snicket.
3.
The Quester Who Stole Christmas.
7.
So 23 for you.
Ooh, bad.
Angel.
No, I don't like it.
It's a first. It's a first.
I don't like
And then
it.
finally, Krampus.
7.
So that's
Three,
15.
So we don't do a general knowledge for the last part. I don't want to
5,
lose
6,
this
7.
lead.
Yeah,
It's
7.
headlines. I think we're all screwed.
Drew says, please read my actually. Where is your actually?
Actually, they got bending from lion turtles, but they learned how to bend from various sources.
This is true. There you go. And now we move on to a round of dodgy headlines. I'm going to give you a
Oh.
headline, a newspaper, and a date, and 4 possible stories that headline was about. This is multiple choice again.
Right, get the D4s out. Get the D4s out, guys. I will go to
Wow.
D4.
Rebels is trying to steal my point. I got the answer right.
Okay. Question 1, or headline the first. Hope I did you proud, mummy, was a headline in The Sun on the 11th of May. Was that about British fighters in Ukraine, a major discovery in Egypt, the state opening of Parliament, or a toddler who called an ambulance?
Ooh.
I did you proud, mummy.
considering it's the sun, it could be any 4 of those.
Did not need the dice for this one.
Headline 2. April Cruel Day was in the Mirror on the 1st of April. Was that about the cost of living crisis, a rise in mean April Fool's pranks, a Priti Patel TV interview, or wealthy trophy hunters?
Ooh,
Could be
that's,
it could be
oh.
two of those. Maybe go with that one.
Which paper was this in?
That was in the Mirror.
Thank you.
Can you give us the options again, please?
The cost of living crisis, a rise in mean April Fool's pranks, a Priti Patel TV interview, or wealthy trophy hunters?
Sticking with that answer.
I haven't got a chance in hell of winning this, so I'm just gonna put down what instinct says.
I mean, no, if you score a perfect score and
Nobody else scores anything.
Ben gets no points, you could take this.
Ben would need 1 point. Ben could get
Hey,
1 point and I'd be
Ben
fine.
could get 1 point. But 1 to no points.
Yeah, but I also kind of want to have the round for the start of next year.
Question 3. Rebels Without a Clue was a Daily Mail headline on the 1st of June. Was it about Russian defectors, MPs joining striking rail workers, Star Wars going woke, or backbenchers turning on Boris Johnson? Rebels Without a Clue was a Daily Mail headline on the 1st of June. Was it about Russian defectors, MPs joining striking rail workers, Star Wars going woke, or backbenchers turning on Boris Johnson?
Sorry, can you give us the date again?
The 1st of June. Question 4. The Hand of Wad was a Metro headline on the 5th of May. Was that about Rishi Sunak's wife, the spring budget, the Pope's personal wealth, or a sporting auction?
Worse than it, this is now becoming the guessing round.
Yep.
It's basically like, what were the big news stories at these times of the year, really, isn't it?
It's been a busy year, okay?
Yeah, it has been a
Don't ha-
busy year. Wow. It's been a busy 3 years.
It's been a busy 10 years. No, 12.
In a busy decade.
13. It's been a busy Tories.
This is
It's
the
been a busy Tories.
Th-
I
this-
like that. Yes,
this
it
is the
has
this
absolutely
this-
been a difficult and horrifying Tories.
this is the season where the writers run out of ideas and just like cramming everything they can think of into one.
Yes,
Question
Tories.
5. What a bunch of anchors was a Sun headline on the 18th of March. Was that about Russian super yachts, P&O ferries, the Royal Navy, or Extinction Rebellion?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Can we hear that again?
What a bunch of anchors was a Sun headline on the 18th of March. Was it about Russian super yachts, P&O ferries, the Royal Navy, or Extinction Rebellion?
I find there's a problem here, which is I'm trying to use logic, but I don't think that's how the papers work.
Just think, what would get people irrationally angry the most? That's how you figure out which Daily Mail article it is.
Oh,
Question 6. Wazafa That was a Sun headline on the 18th of May. Was Wazatha a headline about Test cricket, a celebrity court case, Glastonbury, or a rise in UK drug usage?
Oh. Say the answers again, please.
Test cricket, a celebrity court case, Glastonbury, or a rise in UK drug use?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think it sounds like I might be getting that one mixed up with a different one.
Question 7. World Nor 3. World Nor 3 was a Daily Star headline on the 27th of May. Was that about mutant hamsters beneath London, Russian dentist shortages, Putin's false teeth, or Brits resorting to cannibalism?
I really don't want to be right on this one. Sorry, can you repeat those answers again? Because I'm not sure I'm comfortable with the answer I was going to give.
Mutant hamsters beneath London, Russian dentist shortage, Putin's false teeth, or Brits resorting to cannibalism?
They're all ridiculous. They're all ridiculous answers.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Why can't we
that's
be
why
a
it's the star, isn't it?
Do you remember, like, when Britain had, like, the stereotype of being a serious country?
That's why you read the. That's when you read
No.
the Daily Mail. Oh no, that's a Telegraph, isn't it? What was it? No,
Question
yes,
8.
yes, Minister had a good riff about papers.
Yeah, they did.
I can't remember what it was. I'll link it later on.
Daily Mail is read by...
It's the Daily Mail was read by the people who want to run a country's
I'll be
wives.
1 second here.
Yes.
But we're just
The
gonna
Times
wait for Ben.
is read by those who own the country.
Yep. Telegraph
the
is read by those who
Mirror
run the country. The Mirror is read by people who think they ought to be running the country. Which one's the one?
and-
Which one is the one who thinks it's being run by somebody else, and the other one is saying
It's the
thinking
Star.
it is?
Um,
I have
and
to find
of
out a
course,
video later on.
do we all remember who reads the Sun?
Oh, they don't care who runs the country.
The dogs when they're using it for toilet paper.
No, but there's an important caveat.
I
What
know.
do they care about then, Jeff?
I'm not saying it. If you can say it.
Oh, they don't care as long as they've got big tits.
The Guardian is
Question-
read by people who think they ought to be running the country. I think I'm going to find that clip actually because that's cool. That's a funny
Question
clip.
It's a
8.
good clip.
Question 8. Hear Hear Hero was a Metro headline on the 9th of March. Was that about a double ear transplant, Captain Tom Moore, Vladimir Zelensky, or the Pride of Britain Awards?
I'm writing down what I hope that was about.
Hear Hear Hero was a Metro headline on the 9th of March. Was that about a double ear transplant, Captain Tom Moore, Vladimir Zelensky, or the Pride of Britain Awards? Question 9. Should have gone to Spock Savers. Was a Daily Star headline on the 7th of January. Was that one about concerns over astronauts' eyesight, Dominic Cummings, a painting of Leonard Nimoy, or an animated Star Trek reboot?
Ooh.
What was the date?
The 7th of January.
Yeah, that's not enough of a clue for me. Can you start reading some of the article? Maybe that'll help.
Can you read off the names again? Actually, the answers again.
So question 9 was, should have gone to Spock Savers from the Daily Star. Was that about concerns over astronauts' eyesight, Dominic Cummings, a painting of Leonard Nimoy, or an animated Star Trek reboot? And finally, question 10. Marmalade, Your Majesty, was a Daily Mail headline on the 5th of June. Was that about food shortages, Harry and Meghan, a royal garden party, or Paddington Bear?
What was the headline again?
Marmalade, Your Majesty. Marmalade. Are you ready for some answers?
Yep.
Yeah, might as well go through this torture.
Ben,
Yeah.
hope I did you proud, mummy.
Toddler called an ambulance.
No.
Damn.
Jeff.
State opening of Parliament.
Correct. The Sun celebrated the 73-year-old Prince Charles undertaking his first state opening of Parliament by transforming him into a toddler from the 1800s.
To be fair, I think he probably did actually say that.
Was that answer C?
That was answer C, yes.
I answered in A, B, C, and D. So.
Rogue. April Cruel Day.
I've gone with Priti Patel.
No, Jennifer.
I went with whatever answer B was.
No, Jeff.
Cost of living crisis.
Correct. It was the cost of living crisis. Energy prices skyrocketed on April Fool's Day. And to be fair to the government, they played along with the joke for the rest of the year by not really doing anything to help.
Oh, they're funny people.
N. Rebels Without a Clue.
I had no idea. I went with the Star Wars Gone Woke.
No, Jeff.
It's the Daily Mail, so it's the backbenchers turning on Boris Johnson.
Correct. It was D, the backbenchers turning on Boris Johnson. This was about backbenchers turning on the PM in an attempt to oust him. Not the first time Boris Johnson has been turned on, of course, but usually it involves some sort of an IT lesson.
Okay.
I thought it was going to involve the party, but still, never mind.
Rogue. Hand of Wad.
I really hope this is about the Pope.
It isn't. Jennifer.
A.
No, Jeff.
Sorry. Spring budget.
Ben.
No.
I also went for the Pope.
It was a sporting auction.
Oh, really?
Ah.
Diego Maradona's shirt from the infamous Hand of God game at the 1986 World Cup sold for 7.1 million.
Wow. What was the headline again?
At auction,
Or a shirt.
which, as far as 2022 prices go, is actually a pretty good deal for a T-shirt.
What's the headline again?
The Hand of Wad.
Oh, of course. Yep.
Yeah.
Ben. What a bunch of anchors.
P&O ferries?
Correct.
Is
This one was
is
aimed
this the
at-
mass sacking? This is the mass sacking, isn't it?
This one was aimed at P&O bosses after they laid off 800 staff without notice. When the government called on their CEO to resign, he simply claimed he wasn't aware they were sackings and got off scot-free.
Of
Adam?
course.
A, B,
B.
C.
Jennifer Wazatha.
B.
Correct.
Cool.
That was about a celebrity court case.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, damn.
The literary masterpiece takes the concept of wags and then adds in Agatha and Wazza,
Oh.
Wayne Rooney, which nobody ever called him.
I got
Ever.
Wagatha, but I didn't think it was Wazatha. I thought it was Wagatha. That's why I was a bit unsure about that. But yeah.
And the result is almost as unsavory as the contents of Rebecca Vardy's WhatsApp messages. Rogue, World War 3.
Putin's teeth?
No.
My God.
N.
Lack of Russian dentists.
No. Jeff.
I went for Putin's teeth because it's the star. They're gonna do something ridiculous.
Jennifer.
Oh no, the other two answers. Oh no, just remember what the other two answers
It's
were.
not mutant hamsters, I'm afraid. It was Brits resorting to cannibalism.
No.
Oh my God, I originally was
No.
going to put that, and then I thought, no, that can't actually have happened.
Oh my God.
You,
It's
okay,
uh,
you're gonna have
To be
to.
fair, it's a star. It probably didn't.
Can you can you feed us in? Like, can you like catch us up on that?
Yes, I can, with this humorous little note after the question.
Oh no.
Russian state news bizarrely claimed that Brits had resorted to eating each other.
Thank God for that.
Their
That
source,
justification makes things so much better.
a single line from a Jeremy Clarkson article saying, "Hunger makes people eat their neighbours." It doesn't, of course, but it can result in you losing your job at the BBC.
Wait.
Yes,
Front page story based on one line, a throwaway line in an article.
yeah, who'd have thought?
For a second, then I thought this was we were talking about the Daily Mail.
The front page story was about the Russian story that was based on an arbitrary line from Jeremy Clarkson. So it's like 6 degrees of Jeremy Clarkson here. It's
So
all
it's
over the
totally
place.
he said, she said, they said.
Sell papers. There you go. That's how you paper. That's how you sell papers.
Sure.
Isabel.
Aha.
N. Here, hero.
I'm hoping this is about Captain Tom Moore.
Nope.
Damn.
Jeff.
The only logical thing I think of was the double ear transplant.
No.
What?
Jennifer.
Whatever answer B was.
No.
Okay.
Rogue.
Is it about Vladimir Zelensky visiting?
It
Parliament?
is. It is. President Zelensky
Okay.
addressed the UK Parliament on the ongoing issues his country faced after being invaded by Russia. MPs briefly gave him a standing ovation before getting back to important matters like birthday cake and curry.
Isn't he like the first foreign, either head of state or head of government to visit, like spoken in Parliament for like a century or something?
I don't have that information, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Don, you're totally unprepared. How could you?
For cake.
scandalous behavior.
Jeff.
Hello.
Should have gone to Spock Savers.
The only other thing was Dominic Cummings.
N.
Oh.
I had to change from Dominic Cummings. I went to the Spock painting because I couldn't think that the others would be that relevant.
Rogue.
I also went for the Spock painting.
Jennifer.
Same.
No, it was concerns over astronauts' eyesight.
Really?
A report by the Medical University of South Carolina claimed that living in space can seriously affect your eyesight.
I remember hearing about that.
There you go.
Funnily enough, that wasn't the headline. That wasn't the headline I saw it under, but I remember hearing about that research.
And finally, Rogue, Marmalade, Your Majesty.
Please let it be about Paddington Bear.
It
Of
is.
course it was.
It is.
Yay!
Thank God.
The Queen appeared alongside Paddington Bear in a surprise segment during the Platinum Jubilee concert, prompting the Daily Mail to question why a Peruvian migrant was handed a job that could have gone to a British bear instead.
Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
And that brings us to the end of this festive final boss fight quiz night. Jeff, how did you do that final round?
6 points on that one.
Okay, and
You bugger.
Wester Who Stole Christmas.
I got free.
Oh, Angel.
Forward to the
Humbug.
and Krampus.
I got 3, but can I give 2 to Ben?
No. Points, points
Oh, that
are
would open up a
unfortunately
whole new version
non-transferable.
of the game.
But it's Christmas.
It's a
It
time
is
miracle, so
Christmas.
it is a time miracle. So be of good cheer and call me when it's done.
Yeah.
Oh.
The funny side of things are, instead, you could just choose a topic which just completely destroys Jeff.
So, there we have it. Jeff takes the victory. Ben was ahead towards the end, but has just been pipped at the post, and really should apparently pay more attention to the news headlines.
You know, the astronaut eye thing has to do with how the gravity affects, like, the eye jelly. Goop.
Rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue. I don't know why I'm pointing at you. You can't see that, and it's not actually you. It's a little Hero Forge version of your character I made for the D&D game. But Rogue, January's pub quiz has a round named by yourself. What is that round?
Oh, I don't know quite yet. But it is going to be my birthday month, so I'll have to think on that.
The studio
do I have to give you an
audience
answer
is
now?
suggesting BioWare. No, you don't have to give me an answer now, but ideally in the next couple of weeks would be great. So that I have time to research it should I need to.
I'm here.
That brings us to the end of this pub quiz. Or quiz, you have 5 seconds to decide.
Oh no! Oh no! I won't lie. My brain's already panicking between Pokemon, cephalopods, Pokemon, cephalopods, Pokemon, cephalopods. Cooking? What? No.
Chocopods it is.
Okay, so cooking Pokemon it
Pokepods.
is.
So yes, cooking Chocopods.
It will be something.
Well, that
Rebel
is
says
accurate.
2 Pokemon. Or cooking.
I win.
2 cooking. Rebels will win.
No. You need to do a topic on breast digitation and other D&D porn names.
Anyway, leaving that cackling in the background.
Sandbagging that.
I mean, there are some spells you could change quite easily.
Run.
They can
Leaving
make
that
things
cackling in the
very
background, I'm going to go
interesting.
over to the credits screen and see if I remember to change it away from my home webcam, which I don't think I did. So, going over to see what's happening in my office right now. No,
It's been-
I was prepared.
Oh.
So
Huzzah!
someone's breaking in and stealing
Huzzah.
everything in progress.
Yeah.
It would largely be
One hell of a way to
darkness,
find
so-
out.
The camera's just bouncing along. It's like, I'm going down the street. This doesn't seem right.
How are they still connected to the internet?
I don't know if
Anyway.
you should be angry or surprised.
Mobile data these days, man. You get great contracts.
Tomorrow night, I will be back at home with the next episode, the third episode of Reign of the Whispered One. Yes, I'm going home. I'm going home.
Literally only came up so that he could eat my food. And then leave again.
Yep.
And then leave.
Yep.
He's gonna take those country roads, which will take him home,
They do need to take me home.
but not to West
Oh,
Virginia.
No, I'd be very lost if I got to West Virginia.
And there ain't no mountains in East Anglia, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I'd be very impressed.
Like, when did you get the TARDIS in your car?
Oh, that'd be so much easier to get home.
I
On the
know, right?
DeLorean.
Oh, so yeah, why
Uh,
would you put the TARDIS in the car? Put the car in the
Anyway.
TARDIS, much easier.
Tomorrow's Reign of the Whispered One is titled Heldor's Gate, as the group descend into the remains of what was once Baldur's Gate. It has now been transformed into a hellish city by Zariel and the forces of Avernus. On Monday, assuming everything goes according to plan, which it didn't last week, but this week, we'll see. Chris and I were back with more Minecraft Monday as we continue to make our rocket ship and prepare to blast off to the moon. On Tuesday, it's time for Angry Greek Punchy Man.
Angry Greek Punchy.
Wait, what?
Or God of War, as some people call it.
Dad of boy.
Oh boy.
We have just made it to the Witch of the Woods, and we've got a compass, magical compass now that tells us where we need to go. I think Johnny Depp had this one in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wait, no, that's his heart's desire.
I mean, we need to. It tells us
Sorry,
where we need to go.
actually,
so-
that's about his heart's desire. There you go. One more point makes no difference to the scores.
And then on Thursday this week, Angel will be over on the Angel Games Player channel playing some Genshin Impact with a very impressive new microphone.
Yes, I have a fancy new microphone. I feel so professional now.
And then, Jeff, have you got any plans for Friday?
No, we've finished our Prince of the Apocalypse campaign. So now there's a gap while we find something else to fill it, really.
So Friday, there won't
dunno.
be anything, probably.
Dunno.
I'll see
Yep.
if I can find that Pokemon thing people want me to do.
There may be some Pokemon over the Angel Games Player channel. Maybe. Let's find out. I mean, it'll be a thing. Watch
Alright,
a thing.
everyone, fast forward your lives till Wednesday.
But for now, we'll see you guys again real soon. Do I have ability to raid
Friday.
from here?
I can do it if you don't. Where would you like to raid?
You raid?
I need to find where
talk about
there's. Oh, we've lost someone.
We-
That was me. I just...
Oh, we've lost Angel.
How dare
No.
No!
Uh,
Oh, we do.
we'll go to Variety Gamers UK, I think.
Zero Time Dilemma. Interesting choice. Raid has started.
Oh,
10
excellent.
seconds.
I don't need to load that thing up then. So we'll see you guys again real soon. For now, so long. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Hey.
Hey, raid is away.
Love